Hello, I'm Debbie Bell Hosking at the Sustainable Finance Live Conference here in London, hosted by Finextra and Responsible Risk. And I'm joined by Karan Jain of NayaOne. We're going to be talking hackathons. So Karan, first of all, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, if we're on the wide shot and we're looking at this banner, which says lean back, lean in and learn by doing for today's event, Sustainable Finance Live, you are responsible for the doing bit, and in my introduction I mentioned the hackathon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I actually Googled the hackathon and most people associate it with a technical term or technology or a techie term. But here we are at a Sustainable Finance, which of course has its tech, but I'm wondering, could you please explain to us in your point of view what a hackathon is?
Good question. So hackathon, in its essence, is when you get a group of people to come together, ideate and prototype a solution or a set of solutions for a problem statement we're working on. In this case, we've got a number of problem statements in sustainable finance. And there's groups of people that have come together that worked with mentors and speakers to ideate their solutions or their propositions at this stage. And the valuable part of hackathon is you don't do that over a number of weeks or months or months and months. You actually have very targeted time box period where you work as a group to come up with that proposition to that problem statement, iterate that, run that through the speakers, the mentors or the subject matter experts, and craft your proposition to a point where you can then go build a prototype. Whereas to your point, most of the market actually thinks, no, prototyping is the hackathon, or just coming up with an idea and a couple of slides is the hackathon. And I think a hackathon to me is where you can go end to end from ideation to a prototype that's been validated and iterated through a number of cycles.
That's really interesting. And the hackathon, as you've described, where would you place its role in terms of sustainable finance?
I couldn't think of a better topic than sustainable finance to be running hackathons with, only because sustainable finance is an important and a critical topic, not just from a human and a planet point of view, but also from a finance point of view. And it's a space where there's a lot of confusion in this space, right? So how do you go about building sustainable financial products when there's so much confusion, there's so much data flying around, there's so much capability flying around? Think there's an ESG company born every 2 days, right? And how do you know who you work with? And hackathons help people who face the problem in businesses, people who are coming up with solutions for those businesses, and people who are collecting and generating some of the data that's useful to drive sustainable finance, bring them together to come up with propositions that is going to move the industry forward.
Today's hackathon,
Yep.
which has been happening all day in the upper level of the event, it's been very busy. I've been seeing lots of people going in and out of rooms and all huddling over tables, and there's been a lot of activity.
That's great to hear.
It is great. I mean, it was lovely to see.
Yeah.
How would you describe the role of the hackathon today at today's event?
So same but even better, because of the event today, you've got not just one organization doing this, you've got multiple organizations in the same team, and you've got multiple organizations in the room, and you've got a couple of remote teams, and you've got different sizes. So you've got a couple of listed companies, you've got a couple of critical infrastructure companies, all working together on same problem statements. The benefit of doing that at this event is they're able to transfer ideas and learn from each other and open those outside the box thinking that they wouldn't have been able to if they were prototyping just what they know or the setting that they had. So I think for today, the group that's around sustainable finance, the group that signed up for the hackathon for sustainable finance, it's a wide variety of organizations from size as well as from depth of knowledge. And I think that really pushes the industry forward, because now people walking away with new perspectives, people walking away with different ways of working, people walking away with different approaches of how they can bring sustainable finance to their business and to their consumers.
And picking up on the point you said there, I learned that the people huddled around the table were from different organizations. So it was great to see great thinkers from different organizations, different parts of the world coming together in that instant to problem solve.
The pot of ideas at its best. And I find sustainable finance is a type of a topic that there's no competition. I think everyone's trying to run towards the same goal here. So that makes it another fantastic opportunity to bring people together to come up with solutions.
And have you got any examples you could give us, perhaps one or two, where you've seen significant steps in what the hackathon has achieved?
Yeah, so results from today are still pending because the hackathon is ongoing for the next couple of periods. But in past, we've seen people come up with fairly innovative solutions on carbon foot tracking. So be able to, how they enable their consumers to better carbon track footprint is one that sticks out in my head. And the other one is quite innovative approaches to make green finance decisions. I think that's quite an important, and it's got a wide variety, not just here, but also globally. We have these conversations all the time with banks and asset managers in terms of, how can they assess their portfolio is making green decisions or assess them for a sustainable finance.
And just briefly, as we bring our interview to a close, and it may be a slightly personal question, but what led you onto this journey of the hackathon?
Great question. So the company was set up to enable tech and transformation, or enable transformation using tech. And tech is, both finance and tech can be high barriers of entry industries. So our job is to enable. So we set up Digital Sandbox and Fintech as a service. Part of that is even lower barrier entry is hackathons and enabling opportunities like sustainable finance to offer hackathon services, to sustainable finance rather, to enable the audience to actually come up with innovative solutions and not be barriered by tech or finance. So it's the tech enablement and better financial product is what led us to starting the company.
Well, Karan, it's been lovely talking to you.
Thank you for your questions.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the results after today's hackathon.
Likewise. Thank you for your questions.